So there's, I think, you know what, I think in the end it's academic. I think everybody, you all end up at this, if we're just sort of hurtling towards contentment, which I think is what happens as you get old. Old people seem generally content to me. Is that crazy? Or better? It's crazy.
It's not my experience.
Yeah, so then better. I feel like I'm hurtling towards contentment. Or maybe it doesn't matter whether it's contentment or abject bitterness, but whether you get around it through this certain, or get there, this reductionist view of the world and this sort of more inclusive, sort of spiritual, I don't know what the description for that philosophy is, more religious, for lack of a better word.
On our planet in terms of producing rational, intelligent beings that are making scientific discoveries that have transformed our world. And I maintain the idea that scientists, such as the Japanese scientists that learned how to make blue LEDs and won the Nobel Prize a few years ago, that scientists such as that can make inventions that will restrain the worst excesses of human beings as a whole. Human beings as a whole will litter, will pollute, will respond to vicious propaganda. But if you provide them an easier way, they can cause less damage. And I do think that scientists will, for the most part, in the next century, come to techniques in terms of reducing pollution with plastics, and solutions in terms of energy and water purification that will make it easier for a rather incorrigible populace to behave better.
I think your feelings, that you think they're your own thoughts, but you share it with everyone. You also share it with the elites, people that are in power. We all are, we're all made up of the same stuff. We have the same thoughts. They're not yours. You can just see yourself thinking them. So if you're thinking that the issue is going to be a huge population that's not going to sustain itself, and that's going to become an apocalyptic scenario.
I mean, the one thing that's different now that we can say honestly never existed before is that the Earth is burning, literally, like it's on fire. The Earth is on fire, and that is I think a bigger and more palpable sense. Like when we say apocalyptic, it's like, well, no, literally, in our lifetime, it seems like things are accelerating at a pace that far exceeds any scientist's predictions about how fast things would be happening. Like all the warnings we're actually underestimating how fast things are happening. So I don't know, I've been finding a strange form of peace in that, but I just feel lucky. I mean, I got to live my adult life, so if it happens when I'm 65, it's like I got mine. I don't have any children to worry about.
I don't think the world's going to shit in an immediate sense any way different than our parents or grandparents may have felt. I think what a few things that are going on is that individually or subjectively, we're losing the certainty and hope of youth as one gets to one's crusty middle age. But secondly, in terms of global ideas that are maybe more objective in terms of, is the world going to shit? I think what our generation is feeling is that the frontiers are closed. And so we're not experiencing war in the level of World War I or World War II right now. We're not experiencing genocide in the way that you had in Cambodia right now. We're not working in salt mines the way that 5-year-olds did 600 years ago. But the sort of the naive generational hope that one has appears to be going up against boundaries or limited frontiers.